As the wonders of technology continue to be examples for us, I want to point out certain things. I'm going to be talking about how we do need to have a transitional approach to this new world that many of you are authors to. And as we do that, people talk about enhanced humanism. Well, I dare say, and I think many of you will already know, that long before recorded history, transhumanism existed. Is there anybody here wearing an operable thermal regulatory apparatus? I don't see a lot of nudists in here. Is anybody wearing a pair of shoes, a pair of eyeglasses, a watch? Is anybody using anything they were not born with? If so, you are transhuman. You have gone beyond evolutionary biology. Now, are you serious? A man I have tremendous respect for said something that I slightly disagree with. He said, "Don't worry about the naysayers." Well, that would be great if all of you happen to be billionaires and you can personally, totally, and autonomously support your research and distribute it. However, if you're not a billionaire, and there's probably one or two people in this room who aren't, then I'm afraid there are things we need to talk about. Now, I am transhumanistically enhancing my brain right now by having a cheat sheet on here, which gives me some notes for me. Maybe I'll use, maybe I won't. I'm also enhancing my ability to communicate by an amplified device that, in theory, is transmitting to anybody out there who has nothing better to do than to listen to me rant. I'm going to put this away for now because I'm much more concerned about the energy in this room. People have been talking to every conference I've gone to about this negative sci-fi impression that people have of science, of technology. That's completely accurate, and it's something we must address. However, the fact of the matter is that most movies, most novels talk about bad guys, and there are all kinds of bad guys. Some of them are cowboys, some of them are bankers. The narrative structure has been based on drama for a long, long time, and one of those things is there gotta be bad guys. So if you're writing sci-fi, the bad guys might be scientists. But are you guys all that scary? You're not scary to me. This guy's kind of scary. This guy is scary because he knows things. Knowing things is scary to a lot of people. And if you don't accept that, you're missing a very major dilemma. And that dilemma is that there are a number of cultural perceptions as to how this universe works. There are a number of cultural belief systems that define what it is to be a human being. And this community, although I dare suspect will end up winning, whatever that word winning means, it has a few PR battles that it first needs to deal with. We talk in ways that may often scare people. Now, not only is this dude scary, but I see an awful lot of women in this room. And women who can think and who read and who study and dare I say think they are the equals of men. I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, on far too many parts of this planet, that is still scary. So, if we're going to sell this notion of uploadedness, of transhumanism, of expanded reality, of completely expanding the notions of gender. We got a PR battle we're gonna do. Now, I'd like to first give credit, before I go through the last part of this rant, to the imagery in here. Natasha was nice enough to give a little nod to Easy TV. Yes, we are the underground. No, we do not work for Disney. No, we do not work for Industrial Light and Magic. We love them. We think they're great. But we make our work entirely on a laptop computer, entirely using off-the-shelf software. We have no proprietary anything. We don't have R&D. We have very little. And we make art that people kind of like. It's certainly not art any of you have ever heard of, probably never seen, but it's art that has sustained us. All of the images that I threw quickly as backdrops on this presentation are from a current live performance multimedia piece called Upload, in which I am trying to proactively, with my collaborators, deal with this subject in a way that is neither Frankenstein nor utopia, but an expansion of the human condition, an expansion of which, frankly, is going to have good days and bad days. We experienced a lot of the issues dealing with simply projecting an image and amplifying sound. These are smart people, and this is good equipment. The fact of the matter is, glitches happen, glitches happen, glitches happen, and glitches will happen. So we got to be prepared for that reality. They are your own worst nightmare. So how do you want to paint yourselves to the world? The fact of the matter is that in amazing institutions like Caltech and at Harvard and at Tokyo University and Shanghai and all kinds of places, they know about this. But you know as well as I do, most people do not, and most people have never even heard of the issues that you take as givens. So how are you going to give your first impression to someone who is questioning whether biology should be taught in high schools? You gotta get real. There are parts in this country where they are trying to remove evolution. And I'm just talking about molecular and biological evolution. I am not talking about what you dudes are talking about. So you gotta get real on that. Okay, so let's assume you're right. And to be frank, I'm giving you guys a lot of the benefit of the doubt. I know you're onto something. I'm an agnostic. I have no way of verifying the assertions that are given in this community. I have no way of verifying whether my consciousness is ever going to be uploadable. But I don't care. You guys are smart. Study, work, make the stuff work. But if it is software, what happens when you are part of a huge corporate techno system that, again, unless you are a billionaire and you own, who owns you when you are data in somebody else's stream? I don't know the answer, but I know this. Science is evolving far, far more rapidly than the legal system is. And part and parcel to this evolution, I dare say, I beg you to evolve this along with various aspects of various legal communities around the world. Because as you well know, even this one country called the United States has at least 3 legal systems. The state of Louisiana runs under Napoleonic law. That is the truth. So you are going to have to deal with the fact that not 1, not 5, but dozens upon dozens of legal belief systems are going to, unfortunately at the moment, have the political power to decide your rights as creatives. to me as a so-called artist, I don't know the difference between an artist and a scientist. I think we are all truth seekers. I think we are all people who are looking for answers and explaining them in whatever crude, and I mean crude, manner that we have. I don't think the human species is all that big a deal yet. You know, I saw a thing in a pop science article 2 days ago that astronomers have decided they have underestimated the number of stars in the universe by about 200 sextillion stars. My attitude is, why are you even counting? You are so far off from any number when you recognize you don't even know what most of the universe is made of. Why are you counting the damn stars? That's where we are as humans. Artists address those issues like, well, I think I'll make something pretty or something crazy or something silly. It's just what I'm feeling. Scientists claim to know. A lot of times they do. But the history of science is the history of changing your mind again and again and again. And you will change your mind again and again and again. I am not part of a scientific elite. I am not part of a financial elite. And I have no political power. When and if you geniuses do figure out how to make the things we're talking about work, I know I'm not going to be on the short list to get this stuff. I know that. That doesn't mean I don't want you to have it, but I also want you to be acutely sensitive to the amazing human rights issue that will be created when some people can and most people can't. And that, to deprive the social, moral, and ethical implications of this is to create a far greater crime than to prevent its development. And I urge, the only way to deal with technophobia is to admit, you know, we kind of know what we're doing, we largely don't. We are going to make a lot of mistakes. If we can't get a PowerPoint to work, you are really going to sell with a straight face the notion that this technology is going to be seamless, effortless, egalitarianly available, and it will work? I hope so. I truly hope so. For me as an artist, what I claim I want is I want to decide, how do we get rid of those concepts? How do we get rid of the concept of beauty and the concept of beast? How do we get rid of these notions that science is going to take us wherever the heck it goes? And we don't know what that means, and we don't know where we're going, and we don't know what we're doing, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't go. The reason I'm here is I want to make friends. I am not a scientist, as I said. I am not even capable of assessing whether you guys are pulling my leg. But I want to play on these issues. I want to talk to more people like you who claim to know. I want to work with people like you who claim to know, and I want to make fun stuff that people who have never heard of this stuff will look at, and their first impression won't be Frankenstein, and it won't be Cinderella. But it may be something somewhere approximately showing us the truth. Thank you so much.